Yeah. All right. Greetings. So if you didn't hear me already, today we're not going to be dealing with movements. We're going to talk. We're going to talk. So go ahead and get yourself something to write with, pen and paper. So I didn't mute everybody, but if anyone wants to just want to stop me and elaborate on something or talk or whatever the case, it's definitely more for discussion platform right now. Two-way street, right? You definitely unmute yourself and say whatever you need to say. Well, we're going to start with cleansing. Cleansing, right? What is cleansing? Why cleanse? Okay, why cleanse? We are regularly bombarded with toxins from a variety of pesticides in our food, additives, antibiotics, air pollution, heavy metals, drugs. This includes drugs given to livestock as well. Chemicals in household products, and within our very own bodies, there's toxins as well. A toxic environment in the body can also result in constant illness, gut and bowel problems, hormone imbalances, weight gain, chronic pain, fatigue, and a range and form of all different types of stress. Right? So that's basically why cleanse. What does that mean if you don't understand anything that I just wrote? Say you're trying to get particular results, right? Particular results on, let's just deal with aesthetic results. Your body, you're not comfortable with your body for whatever reason. You want to gain weight, gain muscle, whatever it is. You want to feel more healthy. Cleansing is definitely the way forward. That's really the first way that we should start. A lot of people don't like starting like that because cleanse takes them completely out of their zone, right? They're gonna have to adhere to different disciplines when it's dealing with food and what goes into the body and what you're consuming. And we're all stuck on whatever we do. We're in our own habit, right? We're in our own habit. We don't realize that we have to change those particular habits when we attempt to change our body, our mind, and our spirit. They're all connected. So it's not just as simple as us just doing physical movements, and then we're going to get the rewards and the results that we want. No, it actually starts from inside out. We were working the other way because I know that's what everybody wants to focus on. Let's get the movements first. It's the funnest thing, right? Cool. But no, cleansing, really and truly. So yeah, I offer a cleanse. I offer 3 different cleanses, a full body cleanse. We'll get into that later on. The full body cleanses is, what's the difference between a full body cleanse and a regular cleanse? You could just be talking about a bowel cleanse. For instance, a bowel cleanse is just dealing with your gut, dealing with your digestive system, and it's a straightforward cleanse. It doesn't last that long. It's normally just a day or a few hours. That's just bowel. That's just the gut. When you're talking about a full body cleanse, it's dealing with gut, knowing that the gut or bowel is your elimination systems. You need to make sure that your elimination systems are on point before you deal with anything else. So we'll start with the bowel or the gut, then we'll move on to the liver, kidneys, we'll go on to the blood, and then from there we go on to liver, kidneys, blood. That's the main things. We do touch on the pancreas, but those other big systems are what I'm really talking about. So it's a combination of not just movements. You just know about the movements, but we're talking about cleansing herbs, particular herbs that cleanse the system. Whether we're talking about psyllium husk, we're talking about burdock, we're talking about chamomile, these type of things, and then we move on from not just using the cleansing herbs to facilitate that healing within those systems in the body, but now combining the cleansing herbs with food, with healing food. So it's herbs, food, protocol, right? So the foods change altogether, Greetings. The foods change altogether. So if we're just talking about different things, supplements within the cleanse, within a cleanse you'll definitely have healing supplements. Why? It makes sense. It makes sense that you're already getting your body into that zone of cleansing. There's 2 different phases that the body goes into. build and destroy, you know, with anything else, right? When we're doing our workouts and we're doing training and all those type of things, that's more destroying. That's a destructive phase, because the body, the muscles, the tendons, it has to go through a catabolic process. The catabolic process that has to go is the whole idea of tearing and breaking down. When we're contracting, that's catabolic. What's happening is you're contracting those muscles. Those muscles are firing, and what's happening when you're contracting those muscles, you're tearing the muscles little by little each time. And through that process of tearing the muscles, when you sleep and when you eat the food, you have the nutrients that help you rebuild those areas. While you're sleeping, it grows over, right? So tear, grow over, tear, grow over. So that leads to the muscle becoming bigger, or the fat being released from the body, and you're actually strengthening that muscle, or strengthening that particular tendon, right? That's what actually happens. One second. Yeah. So while you get your body in that, you're getting your body in that cleansing zone. So when I'm talking about cleansing and destroy, when you're going into cleansing, automatically, yes, you're going to lose weight. You just put it out there. Yes, weight loss is going to happen, whether you want to or not. Don't try to fight the process. Like, no, I don't want to lose weight, so I'm not going to cleanse, or I'm not going to cleanse as deep as I need to because I'm afraid of losing weight. Just deal with the weight loss. It's only momentary. You know, cleansing is only going to last for whatever the case, 7 days, 30 days, whichever type of program that you're in. So for those that came in late, do have paper and pen, because we're just taking notes right now. The whole thing is going to be about cleansing and metabolic type. You know, okay. So what type of supplements should you be having when you're cleansing? Definitely, if you're thinking about the gut, what do you need for the gut? You want to get rid of the bad stuff in there, the bad bacteria, and you want to replace it with good bacteria. Good bacteria for the gut is what? Probiotics. There's many different forms of probiotics. Let's talk about this. You hear the word probiotics. Probiotics, you know that means pro. Pro is for life. But when we're talking about it's the opposite of that is what? Anti. Anti is against. So antibio. If you just look at the word for antibiotics, break down the word. Anti is against, bio is life. So really and truly, we're living a system that forces antibiotics into our day-to-day. You know, before they even talk about probiotics. Some of us has never even heard about probiotics. But antibiotics is like, it's heavy in the system. It definitely shocks the system. It drops your overall immunity of the body down 50 to 75% when you take antibiotics. So for anyone that has taken any course of antibiotics in their life, whether it's just been a day or 7 days, it dropped your immunity all of a sudden. When it goes in, because it's killing out. When those antibiotics go into the body, the antibiotics, they're not what we're giving synthetic antibiotics to go into our live body. So that synthetic drug is not intelligent. So it just goes into your body and it just shuts down everything. It kills off everything. It doesn't care if it's good or bad. It says, oh, this is good bacteria, I'm killing you off too. Bad bacteria, I'm killing you off too. I'm killing you off all together. So if you know that you're taking antibiotics, or for however long that you took antibiotics, you have to make sure that you go on a course of probiotics at least 3 times the length of your course of antibiotics. So if you're taking antibiotics for 1 day, then you're going to have to take probiotics for 3 days just to balance out. So if you're taking antibiotics for 7 days, then you're going to have to make sure that you take probiotics at least 21 days. If you've just been living on antibiotics as a supplement, then you're fucked up. Messed up. All right? Then you know that you want to come off those things little by little. Before you come off your antibiotics altogether, definitely check with me. I'm not a doctor. I'll just advise you to. But if it's antibiotics that you're taking, like for real serious issues like heart complications, lung complications, issues of the brain, don't come off that so quick. Do you know what I mean? It's different if you just allow it to taper off, so you don't take as much antibiotics as you've been taking while you start taking the course of probiotics, and just start taking your probiotics at a small dose and start to bring it up little by little. So the idea, what you want to have to do is you want to bring the antibiotics down little by little, right? Don't just stop. Bring it down little by little, but at the same time, start bringing in a course of probiotics to balance out. And then you could just get to a low level of your antibiotics if it's actually necessary for you to take it, and you can just stay there. Stay there while continuing to ramp up your probiotics. What are probiotics? There's many different forms of probiotics you can take. You know, always aim for the live things first. You know, probiotics, think about probiotics as you got an army. You got an army in your body. Army in your body. You got soldiers in there that they fight for you. They say, hey, there's an invader here. There's an invader here. We're gonna go. We're gonna get that invader out of here, and we're gonna transport them out of here. These probiotics work for you, right? It's very simple. But now these soldiers are really enzymes. Enzymes. What are these enzymes? Enzymes help you break down food. You need enzymes to help you break down food. If you're having a whole bunch of food, whole bunch of dead food, you need even more enzymes in the body. The dead food has no enzymes. Anything that you have in your shelf, you have in your cupboard, anything that has infinite shelf life, you already know it has no enzymes. Something that has enzymes, it ages, it gets old. You put it out there, bacteria grows on it. If you have even bread, people think of bread as dead food as well, but if it's homemade bread, it's fresh bread, there's enzymes in it, because you keep that bread out and they'll, over a day, 2 days, they'll start to become old. They'll get mold on it, such and such. This is how you know it's living. It's a living thing. You know, meat. People think meat is dead. Meat is not dead. Meat has enzymes in it. The longer that the meat it's been since that animal was killed, the enzymes start to decrease little by little. But that doesn't mean that just because the meat's in the freezer and you have the meat there for like the last week or 2 weeks, that it doesn't have enzymes. It's still nutrients. The body recognizes it as nutrients because it's natural, it's bio, right? Synthetic, the body will never recognize as something that is life. You can't treat the body like that. But the difference is in, I'm gonna come back to the meats. Let me come back to the meats. Let me write that down. Let me stay on the probiotics for right now. But when we're talking about probiotics, we want to aim for a live stuff first. What are probiotics? Normally, when things go through its fermentation process, it multiplies the amount of enzymes that it has in the body, the amount of good bacteria that you need. So when we're talking about probiotic sources, like we could have fermented sources. You could have, like, for instance, like sauerkraut. You chop some, what's the actual veg of sauerkraut? What's the actual veg? Cabbage. So you can take a whole bunch of cabbage. When you're fermenting your own foods, it's best to aim for organic, right? I don't want you to just get caught up in organic, like, oh, well, there's no organic, I can't find it, so I'm not gonna do nothing. No, aim for organic. You can't get yourself to an organic place for whatever reason. It's not there. The availability isn't there, the opportunity isn't there. Then just get the food. Don't say you're not going to do something just because it's not organic. No, because there's still healing properties in something that is not organic. Don't be twisted, all right? So you could take live cabbage, cut that cabbage, cut it up real small, put it in a jar, stuff it into a jar, jam pack it into a jar. You know what I mean? And then you can put a little bit of apple cider vinegar, maybe 3 tablespoons, 4 tablespoons, and then fill the rest of the jar up with water. Put some salt in there. Aim for your Himalayan salt, black salt, these types of salts, celery salt. You know, it's perfectly fine. You can put Bragg's in there if you want liquid aminos in there instead. You can do that. Don't use the regular table salt. You don't want that. Cover it up. Put it away. Put it in the cupboard. Minimum of 7 days. Minimum of 7 days, it's going to start to ferment. You know, the other bacteria is going to start to eat away at other things. Fermentation process is going to start, and now the enzymes start to increase. The longer that you leave something to ferment, the more probiotics that it's going to have in it. But at the same time, more probiotics that it's going to have in it, the better it's going to be for you. But the taste is going to be very different. The longer that it ferments, it starts to have a different taste, a different flavor. You probably think that it's going off. And we've been taught that, I smell, throw it out. But no, what we're calling this funny smell is just something going in this fermentation process. Before we had more indigenous people, before we had fridges and freezers and all this, type of way to preserve food. There's more modern ways of preserving food. We're preserving food by just putting it, wrapping up in something, in a cloth, wrapping up in animal skin, putting it underground, getting a whole bunch of salt, covering it in salt, putting it under the earth, wrapping it in a whole bunch of leaves and twigs and such, putting it under the earth. This is what we did. Put things in different containers. We covered it up. Even milk. You study the Maasai tribe coming from Kenya. They've been dealing with fermented crops for ages, thousands of years. Even the Zulus of South Africa, they've been fermenting milk since the beginning of time. They call it something else. I think it's Amazulu or Amazaxi. Don't quote me, but it's a certain name that they have for that milk. And that milk, think about the milk that they get. It's not pasteurized milk or anything like that. It's straight out the cows. It's fresh milk. It's the highest source of vitamin D that they could get next to the sun. You know, it's in tune with nature. It's giving them their enzymes, it's giving them the good bacteria and the bad bacteria, really and truly. So they're taking that milk out of the cow, then they're keeping that there. They're putting it underground for anywhere from 20 to 30 days, and then they're consuming that as well. So they would go around with the cows. They weren't just killing the cows to eat. They were just using the cow, you know, for the livestock, just to sell the milk and such and such. It's only when the cow was going through the end of life that they actually finish off the cow, kill the cow and eat it. They weren't just raising cattle just to eat. Very different approach. You know what I mean? Very different approach. So anything you could ferment, anything. You know, people use cabbage because they're just real used to that. That's one of those things, one of those foods that you're familiar with. Oh, sauerkraut. So it's popularized. Where it's coming from, maybe it's coming from Poland, not really sure. Or whatever the case, you can ferment anything. You can get very creative with things that you ferment as well. If you already like that fermented flavor, that's better for you. If it's too intense for you, then just start with the 7 days. Start with 7 days so you just add it to the system. You get more familiar with this. And it's good to start telling yourself things like, you know what? We've been trained to like think about food and what we drink like it has to taste good. It tastes good. I'm only caring of the taste. It needs to taste good, and that's what I want. If it doesn't taste good, I'm not having it. Nah, not when it's time for healing. We got to switch that up. You know, we got to understand what is good for us and what we need to do in order to heal particular parts of the body, our mind, whatever the case. And this is what we're focused on. We're focused on the effect that it's going to have, the result that it's going to have for us. So make sure you always go back to that result and don't allow yourself just to be led by the taste, because then you're going to stay ill. You're going to stay ill. So even when I started this particular journey, I would always tell myself, okay, you know what? Yes, I've been used to these particular flavors, but now what I'm doing, I'm eating what heals. I'm eating what heals me. And you have to start looking at things like that, especially if you're coming from a very disruptive place. You know what I mean? If you got irritable bowel syndrome, you got gut issues, your skin breaks out, you feel low on energy, you're lethargic all the time. You struggle with brain fog. You know, especially if you're a person that you don't burn, you don't do any of these type of things, and you're struggling with brain fog. You walk into a room and you're like, damn, what did I come in here again to get? That's all triggers. That's all red flags letting you know that you're lacking in particular nutrients. You know what I mean? So if you want to keep going that path, down that path, keep on doing what you've been doing. The body's going to keep deteriorating. Simple. And then you can get to a level where you're so low, and you remain there that you just allow yourself to become comfortable in that uncomforting state. Right? That makes sense? So back into the probiotics, you can level it up. You know, when I was doing it, I'm not doing those live probiotics now, but when I was doing it, I would go ahead, I would chop up some bell peppers, green peppers, chop up some purple onions, all those type of things. I'll shove in my cabbage as well, and I put all that there because I like all of these things. I like the flavors of them when they're fermented. You know, that's one way. So you could ferment so many different things. You prefer carrots? Great. Chop up some carrots, put it in the jar, ferment it the same way. Whatever else it is. I'm not talking about fermenting fruits. I'm not talking about that. That's completely different. Everything I'm talking about fermenting is veg. All right. First, go more towards the leafy vegetables. You know, Then after that, you can go into more of the fruit vegetables, bell peppers and things like that. See how that works. See how that works for you. Don't just do anything for a day and say, oh, nah, it didn't work, such and such. Now give yourself at least 21 days. 21 days of doing it. And this is you recording how you're feeling after. So these probiotics is something that you want to take before your food, because you need those soldiers to go into the body to be ready for whatever you're putting in. So if you know that you eat and then it's probably taking a good 7-8 hours for that food to come out of your body after you eat, you know your digestive system is slow, too slow. Even like really, even if I say even 3 hours, 3 to 4 hours, you're eating the food and it's taking that long to come out of the system, digestive system is really slow. You want to get those probiotics in the system at least 30 minutes before you have your regular food. So it's just in there. And it's not about you eating a whole bunch. You could just have like 2 spoonfuls of the sauerkrauts or whatever your fermented probiotics. 2 spoonfuls, cool. Had that, they're there. Now I'm ready to go into my food. Now it's going to be different. It's going to be different how long it takes that food to digest based on the food that you're eating. If you're eating a very heavy food, you know, to something that is starch driven, full of grains, full of meat, that's going to take a long time. So that's something else that we need to look at. But for later on, that's it with probiotics. That's all the live sources. If you have gone through these things, every time you're switching your probiotic, I'll say stay on it for a course of 21 days. Stay on it for a course of 21 days, see how you feel. It's about you checking in. You can't just be taking something and then let the whole 21 days pass like, oh, it didn't work for me. How do you know it didn't work for you? Were you really checking in? Were you really sitting down and seeing like, damn, how am I feeling after I ate my meal? How do I feel 30 minutes after I ate my meal? Let me write it down. Oh, you know what? I started noticing that 30 minutes after I ate my meal, I started getting cramps in my stomach. You know, my head started hurting. My throat started becoming real dry. Write these things down. You know, something else different happens, write these things down. You know, and you have to start to explore these particular things. Why do I feel like this after I ate? Snap. Hold on. What did I just eat? Oh, I just picked up some crap from here. Go back to what you just ate. Find it. Take a picture of it. Put it down. Like, what's in here that's making me feel like this? You can't come to me and just, hey, Smai-Tawi, well, this is happening to me. I don't know what you eat. I have no idea. I'm going to tell you to go through these same things. And I'm only going to be able to help you as good or as great as you help yourself. The information that you write down on yourself, you're able to pass to me, then I could guide you into a particular direction. But if you're not doing any of this stuff for yourself, don't expect me to, just because you're paying me, do it for you. No, I have no idea. I have no idea. So write these things down. See how you feel. It's always about that. When we're going on to more cleansing and stuff like that, you want to stay away from processed foods. Why stay away from processed foods? And I'm saying processed foods, things that are packaged in the stores, things that just, you know what processed stuff are. You just stay away from that, because processed foods normally have a whole bunch of additional additives that they don't need to tell you about on the label. On the label, as long as they put at least 80 to 90% of what's in there, they're cool. No problem. They can put other stuff that is going to kill you. They don't need to add that. The company doesn't need to put that forward to FDA at all. They don't need to. They're fine. They put the majority. And you always know the majority of what something has in it by where it is in your contents, right? If you're looking at the back, oh, what does this have? What does this have in it? Whatever starts first lets you know the majority of it. If you're drinking coconut water, for instance, and the first thing says high glutamate sulfate, you know what I mean? And then you have carbonate this, and then you have sucrose this, and such, and then the last thing that it has in it says coconut extract, not even coconut pulp, not anything like that, just coconut extract. Coconut extract could be anything. Doesn't mean that there has to be the actual extract of the actual coconut, the fleshy part, or the water part of the coconut. They could have just thrown in some husk, some of the coconut shell in there. Yep, you got the extract, cool. It's not really coconut. It's not really coconut water. So start looking at the stuff that you're having. You know, if you're having plantain chips, for instance, plantain chips, you should already know, oh, I'm having plantain chips. I have plantain chips because I like the taste of chips, but I don't want to have chips that are that have a whole bunch of other fuckery in it. So I go for plantain chips. That's normally my go-to. I know plantain chips has what? If I'm looking at it, there should just be 2 or 3 ingredients. Plantain, salt, and oil, normally palm oil. 3 ingredients. If I'm eating plantain chips and I see 17 ingredients on the back, oh, whoa, hold up. I don't know what this is. This is definitely not plantain chips. I'm not having this. Apply that same thing to all the stuff that you're dealing with. All the stuff that you're dealing with. You know what I mean? But processed foods, we want to just stay away from processed foods because it's easier to keep track of the foods that you're consuming and how your body relates to it by things that you're prepping yourself. You know, when I'm going through those type of things, I try to eat very simple, very simple. You know, three ingredients on my dish, cool. I know if it's not the cabbage, if it's not this, or if it's not the quinoa, then what is it? It's easy for me to find out where the problem is coming from. So if we just have 3 things, let's just start with 3 things. We're going into macronutrients now. So say you have as a protein source, we keep it plant-based for right now. Your protein source, say, is tofu. Tofu is your protein source, and your source of carbohydrates, you decided to go for quinoa. So you have tofu, quinoa, and you wanted something green. So you got spinach. You got spinach, you got your vitamin D, you got your chlorophyll, you got your iron. Okay, lovely. Those are the 3 things in my dish. Tofu, quinoa, spinach. I would have had my dish, I prepped it. 30 minutes after, I start having a bad stomachache. Okay? Bad stomachache. Now I start thinking of, oh, what is it? I'd probably go back, maybe I took a picture of my food. I'm looking at the ratios. When I'm talking about macronutrients, there's 3 different macronutrients, 3 different main macronutrients that we deal with. Fats, proteins, carbohydrates, right? So let's just think about that. Every time you're looking at your plate, you want those 3 macronutrients there. This is a balanced meal. Do you know what I mean? Not you sitting down with just 1 macronutrient in the plate. No. You know, some of us that been disciplined longer, we could slide with that. But if you're already in a red zone, no, you can't slide with that. You know, this is the difference when people see me doing something that maybe off. They see me eating a slice of pizza. They're like, oh, why are you eating that? Da, 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 da. You have no idea what I do in my regular day-to-day. You're looking at a glimpse of my life. I could be operating over here 80 to 90% of my time when you just saw me eat a slice of pizza. So you're like, oh, there's no way, such and such. No, you know what it is that you do. If you're the type of person that you're more in a negative, you have more of a negative relationship with food majority of the time, you don't have room to play. You don't have room to have 1 slice of pizza. You don't have room to have some ice cream. There's no room because you're already in a red zone. Simple. You have to bring yourself out of that red zone. So you have to start introducing more healing things into it. Not telling you have to stop all the negative stuff that you're doing, because that's impossible. And you can't go from one extreme to another. No, but start including more healing things into it. And then the more that you include more healing things, you're going to find that you start feeling better. And then you're not going to be craving those other things that much. You know what I mean? Perfectly fine. Meat. Protein. Okay, so back with the tofu. Tofu as a protein, the quinoa as the carbohydrate, and you have your spinach as your greens. Spinach is, when I talk about greens also doubles as a carbohydrate. When I'm talking about spinach, broccoli, cabbage, you know, bell peppers, these are really in the family of carbohydrates. You know what I mean? We don't think of them as carbohydrates because it's not a complex carbohydrate. Now, when we think of complex carbohydrate, we're dealing with more of rices, pastas, breads, and such. You know, quinoa really doubles as a carbohydrate and also as a protein, because quinoa is actually, people think of quinoa as a grain, but quinoa is not a grain. Quinoa is a seed. You know what I mean? Slightly different. You can actually grow quinoa and you could sprout quinoa. You could try that yourself. If you're just looking for different ways to prep it, you know, you want to have it more live, like, damn, I'm looking at what I'm dealing with. I do have stomach aches a lot. If you know that you have stomach aches a lot, I would say start to introduce more live foods into your living altogether, because you probably have just too much cooked foods and your cooked foods choices are very enzyme depleted. You know what I mean? Have more live foods. Try sprouting the quinoa. You could just soak the quinoa for a day. You can put it out on a paper towel, and just put your quinoa out there. Put it by the sun. Put it in the case. You're gonna see it grow. 2-3 days, they're gonna be like little sprouts coming out of the quinoa. Boom. You just packed your quinoa with even more enzymes. You just brought it to life. Turn something that was just on the shelf, you brought it to life. So now you can just take your choice. You could just use it as that and just sprinkle the quinoa into your salad and have it live, because since it started sprouting and it started going through its germination process, it already started to soften up the whole shell of this particular food, you know, so it's more digestible. But if you decide, I don't like that sprouted vibe, and you want to cook it, go ahead and cook it. You're still better off sprouting it than cooking it if you need that level of healing. Okay. So now you had this meal, you're looking at your foods. Now you're looking at the amount, the ratios of the food. So everybody's different on what you need, right? So if you saw that the tofu represented 50% of your plate, you know, then you probably experiment with, let me bring that down. Let me do that same meal again. It's always you doing the same meal. It's not you switching up that meal. So if I had that meal that was my first meal of the day. I don't like to think about things as breakfast, lunch, and dinner, because that's horseshit. Just think of things as, this is my first meal, this is my second meal, this is my third meal. You know, depending sometimes how the body feels, maybe you don't need a third meal, you know. But if that is whatever meal that is for me, I'm keeping that same meal the next day. I'm just always going to change my macronutrient ratios. I'm going to keep on experimenting with that. Okay, I had 50%. The quinoa was 50% on a protein level. Okay, tomorrow I'm going to try it 40%. I'm going to try it 40%, and instead of my spinach representing only 10% of my plate, I'm going to bring my spinach up 20% or 30%. You keep on playing with that. Sometimes it might take you 4 or 5 times. It might take you a week to get through it. But you're going to get into a ratio that works with you, and then boom, now you know that ratio. So then you start to see, oh wow, you know what? I find out that I'm better when I have more of the green leafy stuff than I actually do these the heavier things. Okay, keep that in note. That could shift depending on the time of day that you're consuming that meal. You know, really and truly, I feel, I know it could be different for everyone, but I feel once you're getting up, there's no need to be eating heavy. That's me. Once you're getting up, there's no need for you to be eating heavy. Really and truly, you're just waking up. You just come out of a fasted state. You know what I mean? And really and truly, in that fasted state, now the body is able to tap in to your stored energy sources. Your stored energy sources normally is fat. So your body is now tapping into those stored energy sources, and the body is running off of that. How does it make sense if my body is now burning off of these stored energy sources that I have? That's what I want to do, for me to say, oh no, let me eat food. Let me eat a big plate of food. I just woke up, such and such. Now instead of the body tapping into those stored energy sources, the body is trying to make sense of the food that I just put in. And you think that the body's going to work off of that, the food that you just put in, but it's not. It's just going to slow down the whole digestive system process down altogether. So the body doesn't work like, this food goes in me, boom, I'm using it right now. You know what? I'm going to go train in 30 minutes. So I didn't eat, let me have a banana. That doesn't mean nothing. You think that, a lot of times we look at the body like, okay, it's a fire. This is a fire. I heard people liken that whole analogy to, you know, your system solar plexus being a fire, you know what I mean? So, you know, you're throwing wood into the fire, it's burning away. No, it doesn't work like that. It's a very slow release system, you know what I mean? So it could really take, depending on how fast or slow your digestive system is, that banana could take effect 2 hours later, 2.5 hours later. If you're already backed up and your body's still struggling to fight through heavy meals, 3-4 heavy meals, it could take you 2 days. Do you know what I mean? I feel like a good test for everyone is to wake up in the morning, don't eat. Don't eat anything. You just do this for one day. Don't eat anything. Try to go as long as you possibly can without eating anything. Just keep drinking water. Just keep drinking water. You're gonna see that you still go to the bathroom. You're still gonna go to the bathroom. You're still gonna be shitting. You're still gonna be shitting. Throughout that day. You haven't put anything in your system, but you're still crapping nonstop. You're gonna be, and then it's gonna dawn to you like, wow, where's this food coming from? I haven't ate anything. The food's coming from the food that you ate before. It doesn't just shut off. It's not a clock like we think, you know. It's not, oh, 11:59 p.m., 12 o'clock, midnight, everything resets. And the body starts from point one again. No, it carries on. It's just one long thing. It's one long journey that the body's going through, you know. So try not to eat. Try not to eat the best you can, and just see how many more bowel movements you have. You probably have 4 or 5 bowel movements even without having anything in you. And then for those of you that walk around bloated, you know, you start to see, oh wow, no, I do feel better. I feel lighter. That bloating, that gas that I normally feel, it's not there. Of course it's not there, because you finally allow the body to go through its digestion properly without shoving more shit on top into to work with. You're giving it too much work. You're giving it too much work to do off a system that isn't operating up to par in itself. You've never cleansed in your life. You don't care about the enzymes that are going into the body, but you expect the body just to run optimally all the time. No. When we're younger, cool, that could happen. But the older we get, hey, things start to break down. The body's always operating. It never shuts down. It never shuts down. It's always on autopilot. You know what I mean? And we don't give thanks for that. We don't pay any mind to that. Like, oh, like, yeah, the liver's doing what it needs to do, the pancreas doing what it needs to do. Like, I don't have to tell it to do something. Imagine if we actually had to talk to our body and tell it, like, hey, it's time to do this. There'll be a lot of people that passed out on the streets, dead, really and truly, you know, because these things aren't functioning properly. And it'll probably be better. We'll probably be in a better place. You know, people won't get so far off, you know what I mean? Because they really have to tap in instead of just the body just working. But so yeah, told you about your macros. Experiment with your macros. Start to see that. Even you just having more of a balanced meal. Even you just looking at your meal now, more like a pie chart, and saying, okay, where's my fats? Where's my proteins? Where are my carbohydrates? Even you just doing that, you're gonna feel better. You know, it's not gonna happen straight away. You know, all these things that I'm talking about doing, every time I'm talking about doing things, I'm talking about doing something for a minimum of 21 days. So the body goes through the whole process. You know, the cells are getting unborn, and the cells are dying, and it's becoming part of you. You know, now it's a ritual into the body. Not just one day, not just 2 days, all of these things. It needs to be a period of time. So skipping around, going back to the cleansing. If you've never cleansed before, I definitely advise you cleanse. You need to cleanse with a season. You're cleansing four times a year, really and truly. At best, if you don't do it 4, then go for 3. You definitely need to cleanse on a regular. Some people cleanse their cars and they've never cleansed themselves. Like, you know, when you go for an MOT, that's you cleansing your car. They're going in, then they're cleaning out all the sludge from in the pipes of the car, making sure it's not releasing any toxic gases, all these type of things. They're cleaning you out. You're giving your car a cleanse, and you go and do that every year for a car, and make sure that your car is able to pass inspections and goes back on the street, and it's not a hazard to us and the rest of the environment. So if you're doing that for your car, but you're never doing that for yourself, what the hell is wrong with you? You know what I mean? You really got to start doing this for yourself. This is your vehicle. You only have one vehicle. So you want it to operate better. You want to get smarter. You want to get faster. You want to get stronger. You want to get all these things that you want to get. Hey, you got to cleanse. The cleansing is the way forward for this. So you're not going to become a super Heru, you know, treating your body like crap, but still expecting it to perform these great things. No. The deeper that we start going into even what we do, activating these subtle energies and unlocking and activating and spinning different chakras and connecting to the higher spirits and all these type of things, the vessel needs to be right. The antenna needs to be programmed. It needs to be pointed in the right direction just for you to receive these downloads. you're not going to be just vibrating on a low level with the poorest quality of food and poorest just living altogether, and expect to receive these great downloads and get these visions and such a, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You know, do you need to be plant-based, or do you need to be vegan in order to receive downloads, in order to be spiritual? No, that's more bullshit. You know, all these things are part of nature. Everything is part of nature. We forget. Nature isn't like, oh, here's the class system in nature. This is the hierarchy. Plants are up here and animals are down here. No, all of these things have the energy of the natures vibrating through all of us. All. Do you know what I mean? Not just plants, not just such and such. Plants, animals, just like us, they're all sentient beings. You know what I mean? You could look at it like, oh, well, at least I'm not killing a cow or such and such and such. Yeah, but you're killing a broccoli. The broccoli is still alive. The broccoli has spirit. The broccoli is up this realm as well. You know, just because you don't hear it screaming or it's not spouting blood, doesn't make it any better. So, you know, at the end of the day, it's about fuel. Fuel. You cannot remove yourself from the cycle of life. You cannot. You cannot remove yourself from the cycle of life. Something has to die in order for you to keep living. End of. If you think that's not true, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. But something has to die in order for you to keep living. That's just it. You know, you could be real compassionate about things, but really and truly, anything that you put in your mouth, you know, say a prayer for it, you know. Say a prayer, give thanks for it. You know, yeah, I understand the journey that it took to come here. You know, when I'm talking about plants or I'm talking about animals, I go through that in my heavens all the time. You know what I mean? Because it's a lot went in to just getting that there onto your plate. Whether you're consuming meat or you're consuming veg or whatever, a lot went. A lot of people, you know, different energies had to come together to make that happen. You know, the farmer had to plant that seed. He had to be looking after things for a long period of time. He had to be out there in the hot sun, watering, doing a whole bunch of stuff that you're not doing. You know, he had to go and harvest those. He had to go and harvest those things. Or get other people to come and harvest and go through the crop. Had to be taken down to the factory. There's workers there that goes through this. People there that box these things. People there that package these things. People there that load these things onto these aircrafts. Don't get it twisted. We don't grow all the stuff that we eat. Majority of the stuff are flown in. You know, we don't got mangoes here. There's no avocado trees. So all these things have to be flown in. So take some time to give thanks for that whole journey that all these things go through. You know, things aren't as fresh as we think they really are. Really and truly. If you're eating mangoes from Jamaica over here in summertime, you know what I mean? Like, it's not as fresh as you think it is. It didn't just pop off the tree. It probably took a good 12 to 14 days to even get over here to you. You know what I mean? So if you do have the opportunity, definitely grow whatever you can. Whatever you can, whatever it is. If it is just one little pot on your windowsill and you're growing your little tomato plant, see that. Get connected with growing. Understand like the process. You know, what has to go into looking after something from a seed, you know? Yeah. Where was going with that? I'm on to cleansing, definitely cleansing. Yeah. So with the cleansing, full body cleanses, yes, I have full body cleanses. Full body cleanses for those that are onto it. I have a 7-day cleanse program. I do have 7-day cleanse and I have a 31-day. No, sorry, I have a 10-day cleanse program and I have a 31-day cleanse program. I don't have the prices right in front of me, but for the 30-day program, for those that are on it, you know, I will give you all a deal for already being here with the class. You can get the whole 30-day cleanse program for $150, right? 150, that's full cleanse. I'm talking about there's so many different things. It's not just cleansing. It's not just cleansing. There's movements with it. There's particular cows. There's certain yin and yang, yin cultivating exercises. There's a list of those that I give you on that as well. So you're tapped in for those 30 days. If you're like, yo, Smai-Tawi, those 30 days, That's too much for me right now. Maybe I want to do a 10-day. Cool. I got a 10-day. Got a 10-day that you can do. I think the 10-day one is 75. 75. Don't quote me, but write that down. Write that down anyway. But I know people are different. Some people just I want some introductory stuff. But some people are like, you know what? Nah, I haven't cleansed. I'm ready. I'm locked in. I'm ready to go full on. Give me this 31 days. My body needs it. I'm sick and tired of feeling like this. I want to go full in. I don't just want to scratch the surface. So if that's you, yeah, I got you. That's fine. Do you have to get a cleanse from me? No, you don't have to get a cleanse from me. It works out better for you because it's already packaged. You know, whether you're talking about the herbs, the supplements, the juices that you need, the movements, all of that is already in the program. So you get all these things, you know, aside from the coaching, from more one-to-one coaching from me, you know, when you're cleansing. But if you just don't have that money, understand, I don't have that money. What can I do? Cool. I'm going to give you some stuff to write down. Write down these things. When you're cleansing, you definitely want to get a juicer. If you don't have a juicer already, get a juicer. I'm not about juicing all year round. I only juice when I'm cleansing. That's when it makes sense. That's when it makes sense for me. Why? Juicing strips. Juicing strips the fruit. It strips whatever you put it in it, right? It strips it all together. So when you're talking about juicing fruits, that becomes an issue. Why does it become an issue? Because we're already given a fruit in its beautiful creation. This beautiful creation, and the combination of the sweetness, the minerals and the vitamins and the fibers. The fibers, right? The fibers go into the system. The fibers go into our system, and they clean that digestive tract. That's what we want those fibers in. But now, when we get hooked onto juicing, we just say, hey, yeah, I got a juicer, such and such. Everybody just wants to juice fruits. We want to juice what tastes best for us. You know, we're just big children. Yeah, no, I want more sugar. The sugar tastes good. Oh, the sugar tastes good. We love the sugar, right? So like, let me have sugar. So we think, hey, I got a juicer now. Good. I got oranges. I got a bag of oranges. Let me put all those oranges in my juicer. Yeah. So you put all those oranges in your juicer, and then now you have damn near 10 oranges in a glass. Drink it down. Oh, yeah, I feel great. Do you know how much sugar you just put in your body? You would have never sat down and ate 10 oranges, one after another. Maybe some of you, you're greedy. You're greedy as shit if that's you. But if you sit down and eat 10 oranges, that's an issue. Really and truly, you wouldn't, because there's fiber. There's a balance of the fiber and the sugars in there. Now, when you start juicing these things, it removes the fibers altogether, and you're just getting shots of sugar. So really and truly, you're just drinking straight sugar. Yeah, but Smai-Tawi, it's an orange. It's live. It's from nature, such and such. Yeah, but you just got rid of all the good stuff that nature put in it, and you just kept just the sugar. Don't care what type of sugar it is. Whether it's fructose, sucrose, it's still sugar. Anything that has an OSE on the end, when you're looking at the back of your contents, is sugar. Don't be duped. If something says that it's sugar-free, no. Believe that it has more sugar in it. You know what I mean? More sugar in it, but it's just called something else. When you're talking about like more of the aspartame, the sativa, the stevia, all that other crap. That is sugar replacements, but it's worse than actual sugar. So stay away from all of those type of things. So I just juice veg. Why? Because it's more medicinal. It makes sense. Cool. This allows me, knowing that it's going to get rid of those fibers, it allows me to put more of this good stuff in my body in one sitting. There's no way that I could sit down and I could eat 3-4 bags of spinach. You know what I mean? First of all, it's not going to taste good for me. I'm going to get tired of eating that. I'm going to feel like a horse or something, because I'm just like, again. It's too much, you know. So, but instead, guess what? Me juicing 3-4 bags of spinach, that'll be like this much. Bam. Take that shot. It put me on high. So if you're in the red zone, that's an easy way for you to bring yourself out of that red zone. So it makes more sense. It makes more sense to have that approach with more of the healing, medicinal veg than just to go crazy on the juice. You know what I mean? Because then to go crazy with the fruit juices because the fruits have sugar. Also, if you're juicing fruit, if you're juicing ground vegetables, the ground vegetables, the GEM vegetables, are going to be high in sugar as well because they have more sugar because of the earth. They're just in Mother Nature. Mother Nature literally just hugging them all the damn time. So they're full of sugars. Think about it like that. So when I'm talking about beets, even though beets is great for the heart, great for the blood, let you know because it's dark red. A lot of these things. Study before I even go into that. Write that down. Study the food signatures. Food signatures. Right? If you're not familiar with that, study food signatures. It'll allow you to start looking at the food and seeing what food is for what. You know what I mean? Because it's Mother Nature just shows you really and truly. You know what I mean? Walnuts look like what? Walnuts look like the brain. So it has something in there, a particular nutrient that's great for the brain. Carrots. You cut open the carrot, you look at the carrot looks like what? Looks like your eye. Looks like the pupils. So the carotene is great for your retina and such and such and such. And we keep going on. Broccoli looking like what? Broccoli looks similar to the brain, such and such. Kidney beans what? Let you know right there. Kidney beans are good for what? Looks like the kidney. So it's good for the kidneys. So study some food signatures. More on that. Take one time. This is supposed to be 30 minutes. This is supposed to be 30 minutes, people. Why didn't you tell me? You're getting too much. Let me just let Smai-Tawi keep on talking. La 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 la. It's 58 minutes. No problem, Smai-Tawi. Go. Jack is just brushing through his hair like it's all good. Like, yeah. All right, y'all lucky. It's cool though. So I'm gonna give you some cleansing things. Oh, sorry, I was talking about juicing. So if you don't have a juicer, go online, get yourself a juicer. If you have one of those blenders, a blender is not a juicer. A blender and a juicer are two different things, two completely different things. Blend just liquefies solids. Just think about it as that. Blend, whatever you put in there, it's going to keep whatever in there, and it's just going to liquefy, right? A juicer does not do that. A juicer removes the insoluble fiber from the system altogether, and it just leaves the rest of the nutrients to actually juice up, And so if you have an oscillating juicer is just a juicer that just shreds everything. It has a fast spinning thing. You just put your juice in and just spinning and just literally just shredding up the juice. That is killing your juice. It's just that whole oscillating force, that is denaturing the juice. It's heating the juice up a little bit as well. So the more that it does heat up the juice in the process of extracting the juice, the more that is killing off some of the enzymes. So if that's the type of juice that you have, you definitely want to upgrade yourself and get a masticating juicer. Masticating juicer just means masticating juicer is just a slow juicer. It means cold press. So it's pressing the juice out of it. This really comes from like meat grinders and stuff like that. But that's what it's doing. It's just pressing the juice out of it. So you could get one online on Amazon for as inexpensive as about 45 pounds. You don't always have to opt for the thing that's most inexpensive. You got to think about what you're going to use it for. You're using it to heal the body, and it's going to be something that you're going to be using for the rest of your life, really and truly. So if you can invest more money on that, do so. But if you're not able to, then just grab the 45-pound one and just really use it. But so I'm going to go through this one time. Obviously, I'm going to send you the link so you could always stop and play it again and such. But I'm going into the cleanse. This is the cleanse and only self, right? I'm just going into just the juice aspect. You're not going to get the whole thing, but for those that you just don't have the money to invest in it right now, then go through this part, right? So we're going to go through day 1 through 21. Each day you stay on for a 3-day cycle. So for instance, you're going to be the stuff that you're going to be juicing from day 1 through 3 are the same things. Stuff you reducing from day 4 through 6, same things. From 7 through 9, same things. From 10 through 12, same things, and so forth. So just dealing with day 1 through 3. So I also designed this to be an elimination diet as well. So if you're just starting from the worst of the worst, like you only eat McDonald's every day, I don't have no idea about consuming water, all I like is fruit juices and soda pops and all this, cool. This is for you. So day 1 through 3, eliminate meat. All right? We're gonna focus on cleansing, healing, and balancing the skin, the excretory and eliminative systems, the lungs, and the colon. The juices that you're gonna do is ginger, garlic, radishes, turnip root, grapefruit, apple cider vinegar, right? Those 6 things. Now, if you don't get those 6 things, don't make this stressful. You're gonna go out, you're gonna try to get them, but if you see that you gotta go through 3, 4, 5 stores, and that's fine. Go back home. If you only got 3 things out of the 6, that's fine. Go back home. Start on it. You know, if you come across it again, or while in those 3 days, add on what you're missing. But don't say, no, I can't start because I didn't find those 6. No, I'd rather you start. You know what I mean? Just get started. We procrastinate too much because we're trying to get this ready, this perfect. Start. You know what I mean? As you go on, it'll get better. The next 3 months from now, when you come through your juicing, when you're doing your cleansing again, it'll look better. It'll always get better. You'll always improve. Just start. You know, what are you doing with this stuff? You're trying to make a liter of juice. You're aiming for a liter. So however that looks for you. Now, when I'm saying you're making a liter of juice, you want to try to keep the juices, the foods, or the produce, keep them more or less balanced, right? Knowing that there's certain foods that has more water content than others, you're gonna get more of it. But when I'm saying keeping it balanced, you don't want to put in, for instance, you don't want to put in the same amount of garlic as the grapefruits, because that juice you're not gonna be able to drink it. You're going to throw up drinking it. No, like when it's stuff like that, very strong stuff, you need to use your brain. I can't see comments. I don't just need to think about it. This is a very strong flavor, so I'm not gonna have as much, right? So when it comes to the garlic, you'll probably say, okay, I'm a big garlic person, I like garlic. Okay, you like garlic? Throw in 3 cloves of garlic. If you're like, I don't really like that garlic sometimes, okay, then just do 1 or just do half. Start with half a garlic, go through it the first day, you know, introduce it to your body little by little, and you made a note on how much of what you put in. Me, I tend to scale things out. So if you're looking at my book, you'll see I already have it scaled out. So I don't need to guess anymore because I've done it for a long time. So when I'm coming into my juice, I just know, okay, boom, cucumber, I'm putting 600 grams of cucumber in. I'm putting 200 grams of this in. I'm putting this, and I always make the same juice based on the flavors that I like. You're gonna start to see that you change. You change a lot of your stuff. The juice that you make on day 1, probably not going to taste like day 2 because you have made the adjustments. You're like, nah, day 1 I put too much of this in, I'm too much of this. This almost made me throw up. No, I don't like that, such and such, and you adjust it. If you have gone through these cleanses with me for a year or 2 years, it's going to look very different. You're already dialed in, you know. But that same approach you're going to have with everything I just said. You're always aiming for a liter of juice. I say aim for a liter of juice. If you don't have that much produce and you can't get a liter of juice, then fine. Go with 500 mil and just top up the rest with water. But me, I'm trying to aim for a liter of those juices. And yes, it can be expensive. It can look like really and truly anywhere from maybe 6 to 9 pounds a liter is what I gauged my stuff at. So I know that when I'm going through my cleanses, like each liter is going to run me 6 to 9 pounds. That's going to be 6 to 9 pounds of produce in there. That's, I know within myself, but you work out your own stuff. So moving on, that was day 1 through 3. Oh, so should I stop eating? Depends. When you're going through cleansing, it's better to have less in the system than more because the body already uses 75% of its energy for digestion. So I don't want to give the body too much. For people that are just starting off, go through the elimination diet. Just keep eating as you're eating, regular. And if you're following the elimination diet, then just focus on stopping whatever it is when we get to that particular day. You know, it's just going to build up gradually. If you're already past that point, you're like, yo, I don't need to do those elimination diet. I don't eat those things anymore, or anyway, then fine. Then just tell yourself that if you're consuming 3 meals a day, then you're going to remove 1 meal, and then 1 meal is going to be replaced with your liter of juice. If you say like, you know what, I'm able to do more. I feel like I eat too much anyway. Then cool. Then if you're having 3 meals a day, then just take away 2 of those meals. Take away 2 of those meals and just have 1 liter of juice and have 1 meal. You could always flip it. I don't want you to start something intense. I'd rather you start it off low, and as you feel good, just bump it up little by little. You know what I mean? So moving on. Day 4 to 6, eliminate chicken. Focus on cleansing, healing, and balancing the brain, the nervous system, the liver, and the gallbladder. And every time I say focus on cleansing, such and such, what we're focused on, the particular juices that we're doing, that's what's healing those systems, right? So they're working in order for that. If you have any issues with any of these things, and you feel like you just need to cleanse that area longer, you could change the cleanse. Stay on that longer. If you feel like, yo, I got a lot of issues with my brain and my nervous system, I get jitters, I got brain fog, such and such, and you want to stay on this for 6 days instead of 3, fine. You're doing better for yourself. Okay. So the juices are beetroot, carrot, coconut, lettuce, tomato, parsley, watercress, apple, grapes, pineapple. Just because you hear it got fruits in it, don't mean you gotta make it all sweet, all right? So yeah, apples, yes, 10 apples in here, balance out. No, right? Days 7 through 9, eliminate dairy, cheese, milk, eggs. Focus on cleansing, healing, and balancing the lymphatic system and spleen. Juices, dark greens, string beans, okra, cabbage, spinach, carrot, apple, and beetroot, right? Day 10 through 12, eliminate fish. Focus on cleansing, healing, and balancing the circulatory system, reproductive system, the heart, the small intestines. Juices, garlic, aloe vera, spinach, alfalfa, beetroot, berries, and cherries. So, just to let you know, for those that are not familiar with juicing, when you're juicing slimy stuff, you know, like okra, nah, keep the okra to the side, juice everything else, and then put the juice into the blender, and then put your okra into the blender, and then blend that. You can't juice okra because it's gonna mess up your juicer. You know, it's too slimy. Just don't do it. If you say, oh, I'm gonna try anyway, okay, cool. I'll say, slice of your okra first. In bigger pieces. Put it in the freezer. And then when you're juicing your stuff, put a little bit of okra mixed into everything else. So you put, like, for instance, put your was in the okra, whatever's in the okra. You're gonna put your spinach, then put some okra. Put some spinach, then your okra. Put some sweet potato, a little okra. Put some carrots, and the okra. You know, you keep on mixing it in. Never just put it just straight like that. If you want to try, that's up to you. Some of you need to try and need to see that it doesn't really work good or whatever the case. Go ahead, do it. But for your aloe vera, same thing. Me, I like aloe vera, so when I do it, I will use just the whole aloe vera. But if you don't like that taste already, then just open the aloe vera, get the whole aloe vera. Don't get aloe vera juice or anything. Get real aloe vera. Cut open the aloe vera, take the green part off, and scoop out the actual jelly pulp. You know, you don't need to juice that. You don't need to juice that at all. Juice everything else, do the same thing with it. Put it in the blender with your juice after, and just go in. you don't need too much of that as well. The aloe vera, you just like literally use about maybe two tablespoons scooped out, not the whole thing. Yeah. So now on to day 13 through 15. Eliminate nuts, beans, veg, and proteins. Sorry, eliminate nuts, beans, and veg proteins. So veg proteins, any of those veg proteins, any of those replacement proteins that you use, whether corn or soya this, my soya burgers or whatever the case, or tofu, anything like that, get rid of all those things. Focus on cleansing, healing, and balancing the digestive system and the stomach. Juices, alfalfa, broccoli, carrot, cauliflower, cucumber, cabbage, spinach, bok choy, garlic, potato, celery, papaya, apple, pineapple. Right? It's one of my favorite ones, actually. You know what I'm saying? No. So the potato makes it taste kind of funny. Sometimes I put sweet potato instead of potato, but that's another thing. Yeah, that's what you have for there. And with the pineapple, you're juicing it. You know, you juice the whole thing. Don't feel like you just need, I just need the yellow part, the orange part of the pineapple. Chop up the whole thing. Chop the whole thing. I throw the skin in there, throw the whole thing. If you have a good juicer. If you have a good juicer. I invested. I got the Vitamax Pro. It's heavy duty, baby. I don't know, 300-400 pounds I spent on it and invested on it at that time. It probably goes for like 200 now. The Vitamax. But a heavy duty masticating juicer. I had it for 4 years. It's like, yo, it's heavy. But I could do other things with that as well. I could do other things as well that I haven't even done. I could make my own pasta with that. That I was very into when I got it, because I do like pasta, but I don't consume pasta. So maybe I need to start. I want to start making my own pasta. Well, yeah. Day 16 through 18. Eliminate starches and grains. This is where majority of people have issues. They start going crazy, start itching like they're on crack. I need my starches, I need my grains. Yeah, I get it. Focusing on cleansing, healing, balancing the endocrine system, the glandular system, the gonads, the adrenals, the pancreas, thymus, the thyroids, pituitary, and pineal gland. Juices, carrot, watercress, celery, beetroot and the tops. Well, I try to get beetroots with tops. You know what I mean? Especially if you see beets, and then you have a choice. You see beets with the tops, and you see the regular beets. Always go for the beets with the tops on it. Use the leaves. Use everything. Use the whole thing. No. Okay, beetroot and the tops, spinach, parsley, dandelion, lettuce, sea vegetables. Grab any sea vegetables that you can. You just need vegetables of the sea. You know what I mean? If you're gonna do sea moss, lovely. If you're gonna do sea moss, make sure that sea moss, you're gonna have to prep that a little bit. You're gonna just have to soak that sea moss. When you grab the sea moss, you can get it from any little Indian shop or Arab store on the corner. Just grab it. They normally have it. You know. Look online so you can see what it looks like, so you know what you're looking for before you go into the shop. And you're gonna wash that off really good. Wash it off, wash it off, wash it up. Tons of water, wash it, throw it out, wash it again. Try to get as much salt off it as you can. Whether 4 or 5 times you're washing it, and then just put it in a whole bunch of water, submerge in the water, put your top on, and just let it soak. You can let it soak overnight. Let it soak overnight, and then you can take it out, and then same thing like before. Do the rest of your juicing, and you can add some into the blender with the juice. Blend that. You don't need too much because it's going to make the juice real thick. Don't need too much. But later on, I could tell you about how to make a nice sea moss drink and stuff like that. You know, put in some almond milk and all that stuff. But it's not time for that. Not time. All right. If you can't find sea moss, get any of the sea vegetables. If you find some Even if you find just nori, sometimes you find like those like nori wraps, seaweed, you could grab seaweed as well, you know, throw in there, whatever sea vegetables you can find. All right, and then last, day 19 through 21. Here, you eliminate solids altogether. So you work yourself up little by little. Now, solids are gone. Now you're just on the liquid fast. You know, so from here on out, 3 days, that's what you're on, just liquids. Focusing on cleansing, healing, and balancing the skeletal, muscular systems, and the kidney and the bladder. The juices are green vegetables, cauliflower, asparagus, cucumber, wheatgrass, dandelion greens, alfalfa, parsley, watercress, cabbage, turnip and tops, watermelon, pineapple, papaya, orange, grapefruit, lime. That's the last one, right? So I gave you 21 days. You know, I don't do a 21-day thing, but you're doing this for 21 days, right? So yeah, I think that's enough. I wasn't finished, but you hear me? I wasn't finished, but you got enough. Yeah. So we'll carry on. We'll carry on next Wednesday. There's another part I want to go into, you know, metabolic typing. Metabolic typing. It'll be great for everybody to go and do their metabolic typing and then come back, send it to me beforehand, and then and we could get into a different level of conversation. You know what I mean? You telling me about what your metabolic typing is that in line with you? Did you already know that? All those type of things. So metabolic typing, go online and type in metabolictypingonline.com. Metabolictypingonline.com. And then you'll go and take a test. It's you gotta pay for it. It's like 38 pounds. It's 38 pounds, but the information that you get from there, oh man, it's what everybody needs to do. You know, Jack, I know we were talking about some other things. You know, definitely get on that. You know, and have other people in the family. You know what I'm saying? Get on metabolic typing as well. It's going to expose a lot of holes. It's going to be real good. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, the information that you get when you get your metabolic typing, come back to me and I'll coach you through it. Metabolic typing coach as well. So yeah, do that. What I'll do, I'll try to drop the link in, but even if I don't drop the link in, you can go online for yourself and look up metabolic typing. Metabolic typing by Bill Wolcott. Billwol Wolcott. Just look it up. You'll find it. But it's like a 40-minute video. 40-minute video. It's very sciencey, very geeky. If you don't want to watch it, I understand, but I find it very interesting, you know, just knowing about the ins and outs of anything that I'm getting my head into. You know what I mean? So watch that. That's your homework for now, and then we'll get into it next week. All right? So give thanks along with this 1 hour and 20 minutes. So that means that our session on Friday will be 10 minutes long. Nah, Friday session is going to be shorter because yeah, this ran into other things that I need to do. But you all get it. You all get it. Shanti, 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 Shanti. All right. What's up, Bobby? Make sure I save this before I mess up. Ah, yes.